We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you some breaking news. There's been reports all over the area of something crazy going on, something big. People's homes, their minds even, are being taken over by something called, what is it they're calling it? They're calling it Bad Movie Debate.
What up, nerds? It's me, Jacob Babb, back for Bad Movie Debate. And today we're going to do a regular old debate episode about a movie that I just saw for the first time last night. Have a new special guest here, Jataven Richardson. Say what's up, man.
What's up? What's up, nerds? Happy to be here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm happy you reached out to me to do this. You made a post about the back rooms and stuff, and I commented, and we were kind of going back and forth, and you were like, "Let me on," and I was like, "All right." I was like, "Sure, let's do this." Yeah,
the name of the idea seemed really cool, and I was like, I want to debate something. I don't know.
Yeah, cool. yeah, exactly. Because people love talking good about movies. People love talking bad about movies. But I'm like, well, what are those movies that like don't blow out the box office or that people love and stuff? Like, what about those in between ones that people are like, oh, I'm not so sure. So that's why I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this so we can have like a back and forth. Do I always agree with my opinion that I'm tasked with? No, not necessarily, but I try my best to at least make it interesting. But yeah, I'm happy we're finally able to do this. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Joker Folie à Deux. Is that
something like that?
Does that sound right? I took Spanish growing up and wasn't even good at Spanish, so French is even more of a foreign language, but something like that. Joker 2, the second Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Really, the
one with Lady Gaga,
yes,
and stuff is what we're talking about today. And so as always, we've got the top 5 of whatever genre and everything. And so for this one, I went with like comic book sequel movies. So it can't be Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 1. It's got to be Spider-Man 2. It can't be the first one. It's got to be the second one. So what do you got in your top 5 list? And again, if you have it in a particular order, great. I usually just kind of throw them like, this one, that one, and stuff. But if you got them in a particular order, feel free to do that too.
Yeah, I kind of threw them in just like a random top 5. So Spider-Man 2, I feel like is right now still... it's the quintessential live action Spider-Man movie, and I think it builds upon what that first movie was in a really great way. Second movie I'd say is Winter Soldier. I think that's obviously a movie that people love. I think it's the movie that really made people look at the MCU in a more serious way. And the action is incredible in that movie.
Yeah, it's incredible. The fight choreography is insane.
Yeah. My next one is The Suicide Squad, which I feel like seems like, but it is a sequel. It is.
It is a sequel. Yeah. That absolutely counts.
And I like that movie a lot. I think it's one of James Gunn's best films. And I think it really redeemed The Suicide Squad for a feature-length film.
Yeah, absolutely.
My number 4 is The Dark Knight. Obvious. Talk about it. And my 5, but I have one more after this. It's a little different. But my 5 is Across the Spider-Verse, which I think people love.
We got some crossover. Yeah, we got some crossover. What's your honorable mention?
Yeah, my wild card is The Penguin. The Penguin is a show, but it is a sequel to the Batman. It comes right after the movie, and I think that nobody expected that to be as good as it was. And the fact that it was like legitimately great, like people got Emmy nominations and wins for that, like it really blew me away. So those are my.
That's an insane show for. I mean, the fact that they got Colin Farrell to get in on that and like get back into that costume and everything, because he talks about how much he hated getting into that costume and
he bodied it. He was amazing.
Yeah, like, and then they go on to make an incredible show out of it, which is awesome. So yeah, great list and honorable mention for sure. So for me, we got some overlap. I'll knock those out. Dark Knight, of course. It's kind of hard not to.
One of the best ever. Yeah,
it's so good. It's just so good. And then Across the Spider-Verse. The only thing I don't like about Across the Spider-Verse is when you saw it in theaters when it was coming out, it said we'll be back real soon, and it's been 3 years. It's supposed to be out like within a year.
Quick question: do you like Into or Across more?
I don't know, because because I saw Across with a buddy in theaters, and then rewatched Into and Across when it came out on like streaming and stuff, or like I could get a physical copy with my wife because she really liked the first one, and we watched them back to back, and it's really tough, man. I think Across. I think I might like Across more.
That's fair. For me personally, I think Into is the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yeah, I mean, and that's valid for sure.
I felt something when watching that movie for the first time that I haven't felt in most films. And for me, just like seeing Miles get that sort of love and care in a narrative standpoint, like it is like the animation's great, the action is dope, but it's like the movie really cares about the character, and I just there's something about that first movie that holds a special place in my heart.
Oh yeah, no, and I feel that. I just think like I didn't think they could. You know, because it's like with Across the Spider-Verse, it's like it's obviously so much bigger, and there's so many different like really big name actors. Like you got Oscar Isaac in there playing 2099, which was insane. He was so good.
He was so
and
good.
Everything. But then all the little cameos. You got Donald Glover in there, just like that. Like that was awesome. Like
it was.
Like and like. And when it comes to like comic book movies like that and stuff, like I love a good Easter egg or cameo or reference like that. And I think they just nailed all of that while still telling a crazy story and stuff. Like Spot was like just the way that they got Spot to be like goofy and silly at first, but then by the end of it, I was like, I'm legitimately terrified.
You feel that dread. You're like, oh
like
God.
I'm like I didn't really know because like I like comic book movies and stuff, and like I've read a few comics and stuff, like some like standards for sure, but like I didn't know Spot that
me either.
much.
I didn't know
Spot. I didn't know anything. Yeah, like I was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of a silly one. Like the big bad guy will come eventually. It's like, no, he is, because he can do all this really crazy stuff. Like, so I was blown away by that one. For sure, but I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer when it comes to either of those movies.
Yeah, they're both really, really great. And if Beyond lands or sticks the landing, that is one of the best trilogies of all time.
Oh, it'll be my favorite trilogy, like superhero trilogy of all time and stuff. Because like, you know, Dark Knight's great, Batman Begins is okay, and Dark Knight Rises is fine. In my opinion, it's fine. It does what it needs to. But I think Beyond will be absolutely insane. Speaking of Spider-Man and more Spider-Man coming out, Spider-Man No Way Home is up there for me because man, just growing up with the Tobey Maguire ones and just see that scene when him and Andrew Garfield start showing up and stuff, I was just like, let's fucking go, dude. This is amazing.
When I saw Toby, I stood up and cheered. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't.
Yeah, like, exactly. I freaked out like a kid, dude. Like started tearing up and everything. And my wife was like, "You good?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is amazing. I'm perfect. I'm in a great place." Like I couldn't be anywhere better right now. It was just so awesome to see it. And I'm super hype about Brand New Day, which is this weekend, right? Like, aren't you? You're going to see it tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing it in a couple hours.
You're going to see it in a couple hours. I can't see it till Sunday, unfortunately, but I'm super excited about that one. And then we've got Infinity War.
Fair.
Infinity War, man, just like that was, I think, the highest stakes I've ever felt in a movie. Over like such a long narrative, you know, because I went and rewatched specifically for Infinity War. I didn't do it for Endgame just because I rewatched all of the MCU in release order to get prepped for that one. And so like seeing all that go down and them lose, and then it's like, okay, and here we are now and stuff. I was like, God, that just hit for me. And Endgame sticks the landing, I think, perfectly fine and stuff. But like the climax versus like, because Endgame's more of like the like falling action, you know, like the end of it kind of a thing and stuff.
Resolution.
Like and there's still tons of great action and great moments in that one too. But like there's just something about Infinity War that just really blew me away.
Completely agree.
It's so good. And then I've got lastly Batman Returns. Go back to the Penguin.
yes a very underrated film,
a perfect Christmas movie, Christmas movie. I always forget that every time I go to rewatch it, I always forget that it's Christmas time, because like I'm thinking about all these other moments and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, the backdrop is that it's Christmas. Like it's the holiday season while this is happening, which is fantastic. Okay, great. So I think we both know comic book movies and sequels to comic book movies pretty well. We've got a pretty good list, a lot of overlap. That's always a good sign.
Batman Love 2, which is important for what we're about to do. Batman Love 2 on both of our lists.
Batman. Yeah, of course. Love
what
Batman.
we're about to do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now for Joker, I'm just gonna say Joker 2. I'm not gonna butcher French anymore.
Yeah.
If it comes up.
Wise.
All right, so now it's time for these ratings, which are always super fun. So this one was interesting to me. So the Rotten Tomato score, critic score specifically, was 31 out of 100. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty rough. But interestingly enough, the popcorn meter, as they call it now instead of just the audience score, was also 31, which you don't see a lot. You don't see a lot of like everyone's kind of feeling the exact same. It's usually everyone loves it, everyone hates it, critics love it, audience or vice versa. Like it's usually
this movie is not a crowd pleaser. It is not.
No.
If anything, it's almost a fuck you to the audience.
To an extent, which again, I don't necessarily think is wrong or was like a bad thing, but at the same time, you know, there's some issues with it.
Absolutely.
And then, so for IMDb, almost every single movie I've done for the past few years doing this, no matter what movie it is, lands between a 6 and a like 6.9 or a 7 and stuff. Okay. Very few have gone above, very few have gone below. This one is at 5.2.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Cool.
So right middle of the road. Yep. Which brings us to Letterboxd, which is at a 2.3 out of 5. So right down middle of the road. Very, very divisive movie.
Yes.
Apparently. And I can completely understand why. I will say. Yeah, I completely understand that one. Excuse me. So that's what we're working with in terms of how everybody thought about this movie. And now my favorite part of the intro before we get started. Good quote, bad quote. So for bad quote, I usually try to pick the most insulting one because I think it's funny. Whichever one, whoever who was having the worst day when they had to go watch this movie that they hated and write something down. So we'll get to that one. But this one, so for the good quote, we have Jeffrey McNabb for the Independent UK said, quote, "Overall, Folie Deux is just as edgy and disturbing as its forerunner, replicating the idea of modern American cities as terrifying powder kegs perpetually on the cusp of explosion," end quote. Which I think is valid.
That's accurate. Yeah,
I think that's valid. That it does have the same vibe of the first one of like things are about to pop off and stuff like and everything and I feel like the end of the first one like it pops off and then gets stopped, you know what I mean? And then this one, like, I mean, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about every part of this movie for the audience out there. If you haven't seen this movie, you're going to know everything about this movie or most about this movie by the end of it. But like it kind of happens in this one too, where like things start to pop off and then it all kind of comes back down. So I don't think that's wrong. And you know, the whole idea of Gotham City is always, we all know when we think of Gotham City, like the state of affairs in Gotham City. It's always a scary place. It's a scary place to be at all times. At any moment, any crazy shit could go off. You know, and even though this takes place before Batman's there, because Batman's still a child, like in this context of everything, like, well, it had to get there somehow and stuff. So I don't know. Like, I think that makes sense. I think I agree with that quote.
I want to ask you a question, but I feel like maybe I should wait till the bad quote. I'm not sure. It's something. Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
As again, we both have Batman movies in our top 5. You have Batman Returns 2, a very underrated Batman film to me. Do you feel like it is more interesting or cooler to you as a viewer, the idea of Joker being what births Batman or Batman being what births Joker? In the Dark
Okay.
Knight, it's kind of alluding to that Batman inspired the Joker, and a lot of comics do that. But in this movie, it's being like the crime is what birthed the hero.
Yeah. That's the thing with the Joker specifically. I'm not 100% sure because, like, I think it makes more sense for Batman to be birthed out of the crime instead of like, because like without the crime, he's not doing like he has no reason to do all this stuff, and he could use his billions of dollars to just be a philanthropist and just like help the city in that way. But he feels like he's obligated to like destroy crime and stuff. So I think it makes more sense for any villain to have to. I feel like it makes more sense that like because he first, because like let's take like the Long Halloween, like that's all about the Falcone family and stuff. It's like crime families, like stuff that we deal with like IRL with like Al Capone and like all that stuff, and everything. And like that's kind of like who he's going for. He's going for corrupt people doing corrupt things and stuff, and I think that's where he starts. But then you get people who come in here and are trying to like. They have to up their ante because the like side of justice has upped their ante.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff. Basically, it's like you have a guy who is not a vigilante who is not a part of the police and will do anything he wants with impunity, more or less, because he'll never get caught. So if we want to commit these crimes, we have to up our ante and like do all this kind of stuff. So I think it makes more sense for it to be Batman inspires, like he hurts his own cause
by being Batman.
By being Batman and, for lack of a better way, doing too much.
Yes, no, for real.
Like he does too much.
We're on the exact same page. That is like that's one of the problems that I had when the first Joker movie got announced. Is like seeing him at Wayne Manor making young Bruce smile. Like I feel like that in itself kind of forgets. The cool thing about Batman to me is that he's kind of crazy. He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, he's not well.
And he like how you said, he almost hurts his own cause by doing what he wants to do. I like that a lot more. But I do think it's interesting in the context of this film, the way that they show Joker as like an idea and like something that really inspires the worst people. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I liked I do like how like the take on like both of these movies are like, it's not about the Joker as we know it. It's not Heath Ledger's Joker like with Batman and stuff. Like it's not that. It's how did we get the Joker that like, whether it's, again, spoiler, like if it's his son that him and Lee have and stuff, like takes up the reins once he's old enough to like be doing that and kind of everything, or if it's just like someone is inspired by the history of what happened in the 80s in Gotham to start doing what he's going to do and stuff like that. Like I do think it all falls on Batman's shoulders at the same time though. And I think that's I think that makes the most sense for him because like because like we were saying, like he's unwell too. Like he also belongs in Arkham, or maybe not Arkham because he's got a lot of money. Like, and he's not. I mean, he's technically a criminal. Like maybe not Arkham. Like I don't he probably didn't have to.
He's not a psychopath-ish, but he's definitely sociopathic. Like there's choices he makes. Yes, he needs a therapist. He needs to use his money in smarter ways. And I don't know. The movie I always struggled with it because I'm not a big fan of like let's try to make a villain thing. Like how I said, I was not excited for the Penguin at all, and was greatly surprised by that. So I feel like these two movies, I feel like really tries to speak on something bigger because it doesn't have that hero in the story.
Yeah, exactly. It's more about like the philosophy of this
villainy,
specific villain and like villainy as a whole in the context of Gotham and Batman and everything like that, which I do appreciate for sure. But at the same time, is it worth 2 hours and 15 minutes of my night last night for this one specifically? I don't know.
Well, let's get to the bad quote. I'm curious.
This bad quote, yeah. This one's fun. This one's fun. Again, just always the one. I love picking the ones where it's like, this guy had a bad day when he wrote this down. Okay, so the bad quote comes from Peter Travers for ABC News. He says, quote, "Here's a sequel we didn't need, trapping Phoenix and the glorious Gaga in a joyless musical retreat that sucks the life out of the party. Says she to Joker during a fantasy scene, 'Come on, baby, let's give the people what they want. I'm still waiting.'"
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, yeah,
and he's not wrong either. Or
I don't think he's wrong.
Either.
I don't think he's wrong about that one. Yeah, that's the thing. Both of these quotes are correct.
Yes,
both
absolutely.
of these quotes kind of hit the nail on the head about how I feel about this movie. Like there's I would say a lot of good and some missteps that are pretty glaring and maybe not frustrating, but just not what you would want, kind of a thing. Because I remember when this got announced, I was super excited. When it got announced and stuff, and was like, yeah, like I'll go see it in theaters. Like, I won't see it like as soon as I saw the first one. Like I'll get to it and stuff. And then all the reviews started coming out and people were talking just so much shit. And I was like, oh my God, like
people hated this movie.
I'll see it when I see it. I'll see it when I see it, I guess.
Man, people hated this movie
people were
much.
Dogging on it. Yeah, it was pretty rough. And again, I don't know if at the time, I don't know how I would have felt. Like we're removed from release date at this point. So
yeah,
I don't know. It was fine. We're about to get into it. So as we get into it, I kind of pre-warned you about this one. So now it's, we're just talking now, seeing pros and cons and everything. You're defending, I'm attacking, so to speak. But like I said, I like to do what's something you didn't like about this movie, just like in general, since you're gonna defend it, and you're like, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were messaging back and forth, you said you liked this one more than the first one.
I do, yeah.
Right. So, which is crazy take in my opinion. First of all,
I definitely do.
But so, what's something you don't like about this one, or even something that you think that the other one does better, perhaps?
Okay. I think we were talking about the title, Joker Folie, Deux, and I feel like that in itself showcases that this movie thought it was a lot cooler than it is.
Right.
The movie is very pretentious, and a big way that it shows that is its musical numbers, because not only is it sparse throughout the entire film, but they have the characters not really, or the actors and actresses who are singing these songs, not really try. And part of that is to be a part of the character. Like, this is Arthur Fleck singing. This is Lee Quinzel singing, not Lady Gaga. But I think all of that goes to show how this movie thought that it could really do anything and people would just eat it up. Because I think, if I'm being completely honest, the first movie is just taking from this movie and that movie and that movie and that movie, and then just putting a Joker makeup on it. It does.
It's kind of like Taxi Driver. Almost.
Yeah, it's Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, American Psycho. It's all these different types of movies wrapped up into a Joker burrito. And I feel like Folie Deux lives off of that $1 billion success by thinking it can do whatever it wants. And I think that does hurt the film.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Yeah, because like there was definitely, because I remember, early people like coming out after talking or like seeing it, talking about it and stuff, being like, it's a musical, like what the hell, like and I was like, well, I mean, Lady Gaga's in it, so like that makes sense, like I guess. And I don't, it's musical in nature for sure. They're definitely
that's a great way to put it.
Like I wouldn't say it's like a true blue musical, but like they're making references to old Hollywood musicals and stuff, and like they're doing those kind of dream sequences and everything, like and it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I get where they're coming from, like I get what they're trying to do in that regard, because like that's how they meet, because of the music class, the singing class in the prison or at Arkham and stuff, and like I get what we're trying to go for here. I do like your take of like, because I was thinking like in some of the singing parts, like Lady Gaga, I was like, Lady Gaga can sing better than this, like she's not really better. She's not really hitting it like this. Like Lady Gaga is amazing. Like what, like she should be singing, but like I like that thought of like well, that's Lee singing, and it's like, oh yeah, and she's like Folie Deux is French for like madness for two. It's like two people who lose their minds at the same time, kind like go crazy at the same time over like the same thing, kind of a thing. So it's like which like, so like before the movie I was like, oh, that's a great name for these two characters. After watching it I'm like, like, all right, yeah, maybe it might be the pretentious thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I loved the idea of it being a musical when I first heard it. And then like Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, oh my god, that's great casting.
Yeah, but she's incredible. Like,
then when you see it in execution, it's like, okay. And what sucks to me, because I would love to hear the best thing to you about this movie. To me, I love the cinematography in this film. I think it looks beautiful. And I think the musical numbers at times are like breathtaking visually. And I wish that either they would have written original songs for these characters or would have just made the musical numbers not the genre, but more just like highlights of the movie, if that makes sense.
Like a feature, not like the main like point of it, like a side dish, like a side versus the entree. Like they put it into the entree portion, and it's like if it was just sprinkled out a little bit more, and like because like he's singing and dancing and stuff, and like and one of the things that kind of bothers me, like I'm not a big fan of musicals really in general.
Same.
And stuff because I think they're just so over the top, and I think it's kind of like there's a suspension of disbelief obviously and stuff. It's like, okay, so now everybody on the street knows how to sing and dance to this exact song and stuff that we're now doing and stuff, but like the whole point of it's supposed to be like, this is how they're expressing their feelings in this moment. I'm like, okay, great. I get that. Why are there 50 cars on the highway not moving anymore and everybody's out of their cars and dancing and stuff? If I was drove up to that, I would lose my mind and be like, what the hell is going on? There should have been warnings like we're about to film something here. Like I would absolutely lose it. But that's why, like, so to that point, I really like La La Land is my favorite musical because all the musical numbers are very intimate moments and stuff between one person by themselves or between 2 to 3 to 4 people tops. And it's like, now they're expressing their emotions instead of doing this big flamboyant, like everybody in town kind of a number. And so what bothered me about this movie was a couple things in relation to that is, the dream sequence ones, I completely understand. I was like, okay, that's kind of a vibe, like the musical, like where it's like him and Lee are having the Joker and Harley show, and like it's like because that's him like disassociating, kind of a thing. That's a part of his like mental health issues. Like he's disassociating from what's happening in the courtroom right now because he's about to get really upset and like pop off or do whatever and like hurt his defense and everything. Like those are fine. I don't like when he's learning on the TV, he learns that they're going for the death trial, he's competent and stuff, and he has one of those moments and then it comes back, but it doesn't like over the top do it. Like I'm trying to figure out exactly how to, it's like, did that really happen? Like, did that happen or not? And then it cuts back and it didn't happen. But then later he starts singing in the interview with,
and that did happen.
And then that one did happen because we see Harley watching it and she smashes the window and steals the TV and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like you got to like go over the top, or they all actually happen and it's like a part of their like insanity or something. Doing both kind of like threw me for a loop, and I was like, I don't know if this is really happening or not, which, you know, you could argue like, oh, that's kind of the point, you know, like, is he crazy, is he not? And it's like it's too much at the same time.
I completely agree with what you're saying, and I think that's the thing with this movie that bothers me, is that like it thinks that certain questions are more interesting than other questions. Like, I don't think it's interesting. Is he Arthur? Is he Joker? I don't think that matters. Or is every musical real? Is it not? I don't think that matters. What I do think matters is how he affects the world, and the way that this character does not know who he wants to be. It's not the fact that he isn't. It's not, am I Arthur or Joker? You're both. And the problem for him is that he wants to be Joker for other people. He doesn't want to be Joker. He never really wanted to be Joker for himself. He only did that when he realized, I'm getting attention. I'm feared, or I'm loved, or whatever.
No, 100%. I 100% agree with that, because like that, and that's what kind of bothered me. Oh, real quick, the thing I do like is, you already nailed it, the cinematography was incredible.
It's amazing. People don't talk about that enough, dude.
Especially at the beginning when they were changing aspect ratios based on context and stuff.
I love that so much in this movie.
It was so good. The first like 20 or so minutes, maybe like 20-25 minutes
before they sing anything,
like,
this movie is great.
This movie is great. Like, yeah, in terms of cinematography and editing and tone and everything, it's perfect.
He doesn't say a word for the first 20 minutes, I think.
It was awesome. And it was awesome. Like, you know, and like, but then like specifically the scene when he first meets with his psychiatrist with his lawyer and stuff, and like they break the aspect ratio by like, it's like, okay, we're looking at him on like a screen, like a little 4:3 screen and stuff, and then like it breaks into him and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, we're changing a lot of aspect ratios here and stuff in a way that makes sense contextually with what we're feeling, seeing, and like the times and stuff. Like, that's really cool, and I really like that. And then all the singing and dancing and everything starts, and it kind of loses itself to that. Not that they're not well done, like they are well done, but like I wanted to keep that but kind of vibe.
It you know what I mean? What makes like, this movie dope, like to me, like, man, because now I'm about to start talking. Something I really love about this movie, and this is my second time watching it, and for context for the listeners, I just finished it before I joined this call. So you know the character Jackie, the cop.
Yeah,
I love that character, and the reason why
he's a great character, like, and a great actor.
Great actor. The dynamic between him and Arthur I find fascinating. Like, even him being the one that brings him to the music class or whatever, and like the way that, like, even in that scene when Arthur and Lee are first talking, you see Jackie in the background just looking at him, and at certain moments it seems like he's inspired by Arthur, and at times it looks like he's jealous of Arthur. And
jealous. That's exactly.
I love, like, there's so, like, that's how I feel about this movie. There are some moments in this movie where I'm like, if you made this the film, it would have been incredible. Like, if we're just focusing on Arthur in prison, and maybe till like halfway through this movie, then we get to the trial and we build up his connection to Jackie, his connection to Richie, the guy who dies at the end, like showing how he is connecting to these people with or without him trying, I think would have been fascinating. And even having Harley or Lee in the prison a little longer, I think would have really allowed for this movie to flourish, because there are some great moments, like that moment when Arthur pats Jackie on the back and he's like, I forgot what he said, but then Jackie just like slaps him on the head, like that moment is so it tells you exactly who they are. Like, there is a connection with them, even though they both want to deny that. And,
exactly. Like, they get along very well.
They do.
For what their like relationship is, like, and like what it's supposed to be and stuff. Because I thought that was very fun, because he tells a joke for the first time in like a long time and stuff, and so Arthur feels comfortable to like give him a little pat on the back, and like, but then Jackie's like, you're not allowed, don't fucking touch me, smack, and like beats him over the head.
It's great acting too, because
it's fantastic.
He smacks him, and then he kind of stands there for a second, like almost shocked, like you really thought you could do that.
Like, exactly. He's like deeply offended by it. And then like, I don't know, because like, that scene, it's one of those things with like taking him to the singing class, which is where he gets to meet Lee and everything. It's because Jackie wants to go to the singing class. And like he has two motivations. One, he wants to kind of embarrass Arthur by being like, you're going to go to the singing class and I'm going to get to laugh at you singing and stuff. But also because he wants to sing. When he's over there with like talking to Lee, it's because he's like, okay, I don't really give a shit what he's doing right now. It's because he's over there with the guy with the piano, like, no, play the, I don't know that song. Like, oh yeah, I know that song. And then he starts singing, and he's constantly singing when the Saints go marching in, like the entire time he's whistling it, singing it, doing something and stuff. Like, it's a weird, like, dichotomy we get with Jackie. Like, he's like a really chill dude, but also like,
but he's
horrible, person
should
in his
not
own
have his
right.
job. Should
No,
not have his job.
God, no. And like, so now I want to kind of jump, stick on Jackie and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so Joker shows up to trial, right? He gets rid of his lawyer, and he's allowed to have his full Joker makeup and costume and everything.
I will
And
say that
go
might
ahead.
be the dumbest moment in the movie to me, where the judge is like, I have allowed you to dress however you like. Like, why would you let him do that? That makes no damn sense.
It makes no sense at all. And I appreciate, because like usually in a lot of movies, like, and a lot of my critiques and stuff is like, if we had one line to explain why this happened, I would be like, that's fine, like an extra 10 seconds and stuff. And this movie does take the time to do those 10 seconds to be like, the judge is like it comes in on the trial, like while he's dressed up, and he says like, based on every legal precedent I can reference, he's allowed to do this, and so I'm gonna allow him to do this. And I'm like, I appreciate that, but at the same time, that's insane.
Yes.
But also,
it's supposed to be funny. I think it's supposed to make you laugh, but
I think so too. Yeah,
it takes away, especially like Joaquin's like just like his serious face with the clown makeup. But I do think that like if this movie just leaned into like, this is not fun, we're not having fun. Like if it leaned heavy into that, I think this movie would be so much better. I really, really do.
I completely agree. Like I just. I don't know. It's tough because it's like, because at the same time, it's like, is the legal precedent that he's referring to also getting like stiff armed by like the media in some way? Because it's the first, like the first nationally live televised thing and stuff. They reference that a lot, and it's like, well, people will tune in more and stuff, and it's like, again, it's like one of those things. It's like, could be reading too much into it.
That's actually a great reason.
Like I went to school for journalism and stuff. So like I every once in a while I think about that avenue depending on the context of the movie. But it's like, oh, is he kind of getting strong armed by people being like, well, more people will tune in if he's dressed like that, not thinking about how that will then inspire more people to, blow the building up and do a bunch of other things that are very, very bad. But I still think it's stupid, even though it's like, oh yeah, there could be like all these different things. I'm like, it's still stupid. They should, in no world would any, like if Jason Voorhees is real, and like they wouldn't let him have his hockey mask on in trial.
It's not happening.
Now it would be a part of evidence, and they would reference it, but he would not be allowed to wear it while he's sitting there. Like that would be crazy for the court system to do. So
I think I know what you were about to go to, like going from that scene, but that scene is important though, because it is not the one time. It's the first time where Arthur fully leans into, okay, I'm Joker now. And the moment he does that, he sees puddles. The moment he allows himself to be like, I'm a bad guy, I'm awful, I'm a villain, fuck everybody, he sees the one person who genuinely cared about him.
Yeah, it was genuinely nice to him.
Yeah.
The only person.
I thought that was actually really well. Not only did that guy give a great performance, but I thought that was really well written. To have the character up until that point, kind of not, like even by that time, he already knows Lee is lying to him. And you see even in his musical number, like reality shifting moments, he's like, you can see the dialogue between Joker and Harley is him trying to rationalize how crazy this person really is. Yeah. When he just fully commits to I'm evil, he's then reminded that there was good in him, like instantly. Exactly. And I love that choice,
because he has the when it's the Joker and Harley show and stuff, like they're doing the big number and they have that moment where he's like, or she starts to sing toward the crowd and he's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to sing to me because you love me. And she's like, but we're singing for them. And then she shoots him and stuff. And it's like, that's obviously the moment where like we're being told as the audience she's referring to, like this isn't about you. This is about me using you to platform myself into whatever my goals are and everything. Which again, I think is really cool. But more importantly, the puddles scene was probably my favorite scene when they bring him in and stuff. It was so good. The back and forth, like, first of all, him coming out. This was funny to me. Fucking Joker Arthur in this moment gets up and hits that Southern lawyer draw and stuff.
Lincoln lawyer.
That was really funny to me. Like I wrote down in my notes. I was like, okay, here he goes. I was like, all right, here he goes with the Southern accent. Like I was like, that's really funny.
It is.
And stuff.
So your name's Puddles? Really?
Yeah, exactly. Which I love that because that was when he dropped it. He was like, your last name's actually like he drops it for a second.
He gets angry.
Like, he's like, there's no way. And he's like, yes, it is. And he's like, okay. And then he goes back. Like that was a genuinely funny moment. And stuff. But yeah, that scene is so good. But in that moment too, or like once he becomes Joker in court, he insults Jackie.
Yes.
And Jack, like specifically, like he's referring to all of the guards, but like he's talking about Jackie.
He's talking about Jackie. Yeah.
And so, and then what do? He gets back and they do awful things that they do what prison guards do. Unfortunately, that's a different podcast. That's a different discussion. But they do what they do. Yeah, they do what they do. If you know, you know.
I do. Because when we were talking about Jackie earlier, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about that scene because that scene is so weird, and I heard people say that that's like it. That is a scene that really does not need to be in this movie, and I actually agree. But unless they would have done one thing, and you might think I'm crazy, I think they should have had Jackie singing in that scene.
Yes, 100%.
Because I think it would have shown how he also chooses to move out of reality when he wants to, whenever he wants 100%. To hold that power and control. Like I think that would have been perfect, actually.
Yeah. If you're gonna have this scene where we see them physically and sexually because his pants are down when they're dragging him back.
No, stop. They talked about his past abuse. Like, it's like heavily implied.
It's and I was like, all right. Like I was like, all right,
we
I was like,
question it.
Like we don't gotta like okay, it's for sure. Like, yeah. But like if he had been singing, then it would have made sense and stuff. Like I 100% agree with that thought of like it would have been more useful if they had just done like a quick thing. It's like, well, they're dragging him away and then they close the door and stuff. And it's like, and then they throw him back in his cell after like, all right, yeah, we know what happened. They beat the shit out of him, whatever.
Right.
And stuff. But since they held on that scene for a few minutes and stuff, he absolutely should have been singing 100%.
Yeah. I think that would have made that scene, like it would have been like almost like a plot twist, like aha moment, because you're seeing how all these, like, I think this movie should have been a triangle of craziness. It should have been about Arthur, Jackie, and Lee. And how all of them are crazy in different ways, and how Arthur might not be like Arthur is almost a victim to himself in a way, while these two are victimizers. They actively go against. They are trying to find prey in different ways, and he's just the person that's come across their crosshairs.
Exactly, they're all like it's the triangle. It's definitely a triangle that should have been done, and we should have gotten more with Jackie, like just a little bit more. Like we didn't even really need that much more.
Yeah.
But like, because like you have like circumstantially, you have Arthur, who obviously has mental health issues and stuff because he had a horrible childhood, horrible abuse done to him since he was young, and then snapped, and like all this stuff happens. You have Lee, who is wealthy and abuses that wealth to do whatever she wants, and basically decides to become crazy and do all of these criminal things and stuff. And then you have Jackie, who uses his power. He doesn't see himself as a bad man. He's not doing anything wrong. He's a prison guard protecting people from these bad people and stuff, even though he is committing just as, if not worse, crimes against these people and stuff. And I completely agree. We should have explored that just a little bit more with Jackie.
A lot of bit more.
Like a lot of bit more. Like if we had that
I'm telling you, if half of this movie was in the prison, I think that would, and also would have built up the trial. It would have made that a big moment, and then
because we get to the trial really fast,
very fast, like. And I feel like they do that because it's a cool set, it's a cool idea, Joker on trial. But I think to build that up would have been like, because even the character that Jackie kills. I forgot his name, Richie or whatever.
Richie or Ricky or something like that.
Something like that. I feel like we could have really felt that if we got 2 more scenes with him. 2 more scenes with him talking to Jackie and him talking to Arthur and showing how they both care about this guy in a weird way. Because you kind of see that. You see that Jackie does care about Richie and that Arthur cares about him in some way. And I think he should have been a little bit more defined as a character to really allow that death to be something like that hurts.
Yeah, because it more so like, because when that death happens, it's more so just like, well, you know what I mean? Like because we don't have like, it's like, this is a huge bummer. Like, but
it's just like Jackie is evil. This is the worst day of Arthur's life. It's not about Richie, and it should be about him too.
Yeah, exactly. But it like, to that point though, the movie doesn't need to be any longer. We just need to recontextualize some stuff. Like we just need to like change some stuff like from the get-go, because like I don't know, like again, as much as we were just glazing how much we liked the 20 minutes of no talking at the beginning and how that felt and everything, we could shorten that down a little bit and get a little bit more in between from these characters, a little more like relationship and like whatever it is, oh my god, I can't think of the word, exposition between those characters.
I agree,
and stuff like that. Like we could have gotten a little more of that, and that would have been cool.
I think prison is an easy way to do that in films and like stories too, because they're isolated. All they really can do is talk, and like pontificate about life. Like there's so many moments when I was listening to the movie with headphones where I was like, oh, like you're hearing guards kind of talk about this and hearing inmates talk about this, and they're kind of giving you context about not only how Arthur's been up until this point, but what happened in the first movie if you need some recollection. So I think it would have been good to allow that early part of the film to be that for other characters as well. Like the one black dude, Bullock, who keeps on yelling all the time.
Bullet,
like it would have been cool to have that character actually be a character, not just a voice you hear.
Not just a voice you hear and like miming playing the piano once in the background and when Arthur comes back and starts jumping on the tables and stuff, like he jumps up and sings too. But like that's what I'm saying, he's like a named character. So like, I want more from you if you're a named character, like in that kind of context and stuff. But like
I feel like I gotta say I gotta say why I like exactly why I like this movie more than the first, because you said that, and I think I heard you said it's crazy opinion to most people. The reason why I like this movie, I like Folie more than the first Joker, is because I think the Joker, the first film, it's posing the question of who creates these monsters, and the answer is the system. And after that, it's kind of just that's that. The second movie is really asking the question of what then? What happens after? It's the same. And I'm working on the Odyssey video essay right now. And one of the things I love about that movie is that, and it's similar to Oppenheimer too, but what Nolan is asking isn't what would you do as a person? What would you do if you were Odysseus before the Trojan horse? That's not what he's asking. He's asking, what would you do as Odysseus after? Are you going to accept your consequences? Are you going to accept the actions you made? And I love that this film is like, Arthur has so many people that love him outside to a point where it's literally like half of the court hates him, half of the court loves him, the way that they depict it. And he even has people, when he goes back to prison, he's able to stand up on tables and people are dying for him, basically. And the fact that what he learns by the end of this movie is that there was never a Joker. It was just me. And I didn't like who I was. That's why I made these choices. That's why I ran to this persona. That's why I've been running to this woman, because genuinely I've never liked who I am. And he never had a leg up, or
No.
he never had the opportunity to like himself. But at the same time, he still has to deal with those consequences. And I'm not a big fan of the ending where the other Joker kills him. Like, cool. Like, I don't really care about that. But I like the idea of the character being like, I just wanted people to love me. And sadly, I can't wear this mask anymore. I think that's incredible. Like, that's a message that you may not like because maybe you liked the first movie and what it was telling you there. Like, oh, the system sucks. We got to empower ourselves and kill people. Like, sure, you might find that fun. But this movie is like, you're not supposed to have fun with those people.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Which I think is absolutely fair. Yeah, because the first one is more of a like commentary on like society and stuff, like in a multitude of different ways.
One more thing, my bad. I wanted to say too, because what you just said just hit my brain. One of the cool things about this movie too is that in the first movie you see how people don't really care about mental health like that. Like even like the social workers are being fired and all, like, are being closed down or whatever. And you see even in this movie when it's so obvious that Arthur is mentally unstable, multiple people take the stand and are like, I think he's completely fine and just crazy and just evil. And it's like,
he's just evil. Yeah.
Like it's sad, but sadly still true in a lot of ways, how mental health is looked at as this like taboo thing that doesn't really have an effect on a human being. It's like, no, bro, like Arthur, even though Arthur is not a likable figure, he never had a chance. Never had a chance.
No, he absolutely never had a chance. Not one.
I don't know. I love that. I love that sort of storytelling.
No, for sure. Like, and I completely agree. I do completely agree with that. Cause like the first one's like more about like society as a whole and like issues and stuff like that. And then this one is a character study. It's like, well, let's look at one of those people and what happens. So like it's still talking about society and stuff. Cause like obviously we talked about like the how bad prison is and like how that needs a lot of work.
How people will try to mooch off of moments, even if that's at the detriment of people who are
exactly like
not not mentally well.
Lee coming in and trying to ride his like coattails of fame and stuff for her own benefit and stuff is like so relevant to today and stuff. But at the end of the day, like this is a character study on him, on Arthur, and like what he's going through, like how he's being manipulated from all sides and stuff. And I mean, as soon as he says, no, there is no Joker, it was all me and stuff, Lee gets up and leaves.
Yeah, instantly. He's gone.
And then the bomb goes off and he goes and he's like, tries to find her and stuff, and he finds her and he's like, yeah, like we can run away now and like we're gonna have a baby and stuff. And she's more or less like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm out, and just like, walks away.
Like, I love that moment where she starts singing and he's like, I don't want to sing. Like,
yeah,
bro,
exactly.
Like, that really hits, bro. Like,
it does. It really does.
Again, like you have to get through a bunch of like lame, like subpar musical moments, but when you get to that scene, it's like it clicks. It's like all those moments were just him trying to escape the reality that he fucked up, and he knows he fucked up. Like I don't know. I love that.
And he finally gets to a moment where he's like, I can live those fantasies out in real life right now with you because I'm out. Yeah. And like you're pregnant, we can go and do this. And she's like, no, I was all about the fantasy and stuff. And like she's like, she was in love with Joker, not with Arthur.
Yes. But Joker was never real.
But Joker was never real and stuff, like at any point. And stuff, which, you know, which kind of adds like to a pro to this and stuff, because like this isn't the Joker we all know, like and stuff, like, and that's kind of the point. It's like, it's like this, it's made very clear, I think, in especially because like he gets killed at the end and stuff, like that this is the inspiration for the Joker that will fight the Batman and stuff. Like once
I hate that shit so much.
Yeah, and you hate that.
Yeah, I hate that so much.
Yeah, like, but that's how it ends, and like I don't necessarily love it, but I think that's what the point is. Like, you know, like by the end of it and stuff.
I will say, I think the way that I take it is a little different. I feel like, to me, the way I look at Arthur Fleck is that this is it's weird because like this is before Batman, Bruce Wayne is a kid, all that. This is takes place like 70s, 80s. But to me, this movie almost feels like this is what the Joker inspires, if that makes sense. A person like this who would run towards, because to me, when I say Joker in the context of this film, I'm saying like incel, alpha male, just being locked within an echo chamber that will not let you go because it feeds off of your misery. This character feels like he is inspired by something that doesn't exist yet. And he is only able to feel powerful when he isn't himself.
Yeah, exactly. When he's putting on a persona, exactly like what for some reason he takes to be a more masculine persona and stuff, and like because he wants to, because he's just abused his whole life and stuff and bullied his whole life and stuff. So he's like, I want to take some power back for myself and stuff. But he's a little unwell. He's extremely unwell.
Very unwell.
And so, you know, bad things happen because of that. I mean, it's kind of hard to disagree with any of that.
But that's the thing is, like, when we talk about the movie, it's like, the movie is incredibly flawed. This movie is not like, it has a lot of flaws up and down, left and right. You can see it easily. But to me, that's why I picked this movie, because like there's actually something to talk about here. Like let's say I chose the first movie. What would we really be talking about other than cool moments, cool scenes?
Yeah.
This is like, we really can speak about like, what is this movie trying to say? And to me, also, I'm not a big Todd Phillips guy. I don't know a lot of his work, but I will say, because people hated on him because they hated this movie, I think it's incredibly brave to do what he did here. Because to make a movie like he did with Joker that I feel like made the world a little bit worse, similar to an American Psycho or a Fight Club or whatever, movies that should not have made the world worse, but people are going to do what they want to do with it. To then be like, oh, after I made that $1 billion movie for you, I'm going to make a movie that completely deconstructs that character from inside out to a point where you don't even like what you're watching anymore. Like, I think that's not only admirable on like a filmmaking point, but on a moral front, I think that's very brave.
Yeah, no, and I agree, because the first one definitely inspired a lot of the wrong people. For sure. Like, there's really no debating that part by any means. So it is interesting looking at this movie and again taking that again, like all of these thoughts about society and then going like, well, let's look at the person now and see like how they're used and manipulated and why they are the way that they are and stuff. Because I'm also curious, because like there's a part of me that's I've kind of a question that I was kind of weird about, where she sneaks into his like gets let into his prison cell before she dips. Lee, and she says, you need to stop taking your meds, and he says, I already have. But every time we see him take his meds, he goes and he gets it checked and stuff. Like, we don't see him like spitting them out or like throwing them up or like doing anything like. So I don't think he was.
Yeah, I don't think he was, honestly.
Like, I think he was taking his meds, and he just told her that and stuff. Because he, by the end of the movie, he gets a lot more. He's just as level-headed, and stuff and everything. And
but I think that's part of it. Is like he just wanted to live up to her expectations.
Exactly. So he leaned into the Joker stuff, even though the meds were working. And like he was kind of getting more level-headed and kind of realizing like because like his confession, his closing statement where he confesses like, not only did I do all of this and I remember doing all of it and I chose to do all of it, I also killed my mom that no one knew about until just now and stuff like that. And I really think the only reason he leaves is like the only reason he escapes is because it was so easy, because his fans made it easy for him. And he was like, oh, I could go be with Lee and stuff. Like,
I think it really was to find Lee, which is sad. It's really sad, honestly.
It's really sad. Like, I think he was ready to accept it and like take the death penalty and stuff. Like, I think he was just kind of like, all right, like that's fine and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Again, as a movie, it's a tough watch, but like it doesn't have to be a good watch to be a good movie at the same time. You
I
know what I
would
mean? Or like
never,
worth watching.
I
You
would
know?
never say that this is a good movie, but I do. I was dreading watching this movie again. Like
Yeah.
I hit you up months ago or something about like being on
Yeah.
the pod, and
Hmm.
I chose this movie, and I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it. Do I want to watch the first one first? Do I want to?
Yeah.
And when I started it today, I was like, man, I do like this movie though. Like
Yeah.
it may not be good. I can't
Hmm.
argue that because there are too many
Hmm.
things that I dislike, and I watch the movie and I get to a point where I'm starting to rewrite and be like, oh, what if they did this and did
Yeah.
that and that? That's not the same
Hmm.
movie. But
Right.
when I'm watching it, I do like what it's saying. Like it
Hmm.
may be harsh, but it's
Yeah.
real. It's so real. And I think
Yeah.
that's what people didn't expect is that
Hmm.
the first movie is so much more fantasy. And
Yeah.
I actually heard somebody, and I read on Reddit. Wow. I read on Reddit, somebody said that they feel like the first movie is the special that they were showing on TV. Like the one they were talking about when
Oh,
he
yeah.
went to jail. The first movie is basically that. And then
Is
the
the made
second,
for TV
yes,
movie. Yeah,
yes,
that
yes. And then
that
this,
sucked, or she was like, "No, it's really
yeah,
good."
you're
Yeah,
right.
okay.
And then
That's interesting.
the second movie is real life, what really happened. And I think
Mhm.
that's really dope to me as like I'm not saying that's true or whatever, but I like that
Yeah.
concept of like that first movie is you being in Arthur's head. It's this one man against the world that
Yeah.
everybody hates him. He's crazy and he's gonna take back his revenge.
Mhm.
And the second movie is like, what happens when you do that? What
Yeah,
happens?
what happens? Yeah, like,
What
when
happens
you
when you
inevitably,
choose? Yeah, when you make the world your enemy,
Mm.
what happens? And I think that's in today's age, that's a very important question to ask young men, especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. I really like that thought. Like, I really like that idea of, like, that's, like, God, now you see, and that's the thing. That's the thing about doing these debates and stuff, because now I was like, yeah, I'll probably never watch that again. Like I get it and stuff. And now I'm like, well, now I need to go back and rewatch both of them. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and like look at it from that lens and stuff, and like it might make both of them better, like,
I think
after the fact.
I
Because
do
like that's
feel like
really interesting. I really like that take.
I do feel like watching these movies back to back would hit on a different level. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that because again,
No.
I don't think either of these movies are that good. I really don't.
Yeah.
I just feel like the second movie has something to say that I resonate with on a personal level. And I think with a
Right.
lot of the way that I've always connected to movies, and I think that's why people
Mhm.
like what I have to say about film here and
Mhm.
there, is
Yeah.
because I really do look at it from a personal lens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joker
Yeah.
Folie Do was the first movie I'd ever recorded any review for, or not ever, but I had done like The Substance, and then
Oh, yeah.
I saw the TV Glow, and then I just
Mhm.
stopped for a year, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
Joker Folie Do came out, and there was so much hate, and I saw it in theaters, like empty theater, and it had
Yeah.
just came out,
Oh, yeah.
and I watched it, and I was like, I kind of like this, and I think I get why I like it because I
Mhm.
found it. I went to the theater at a time where I felt like I was losing myself. Like I'm
Mhm.
23, and I felt like I
Mhm.
was in like a quarter life crisis for a little bit around
Sure.
there.
Yeah.
And so to see a character who is not likable at all has made way worse decisions than I have,
Mhm.
hold his accountability. And like,
Mhm.
despite most people in his life being like, "Oh yeah, you can be this Joker thing, and we'll accept you for it," for
Mhm.
him to be like, "But that's not who I am."
Yeah.
Like that's really the ending statement in this movie is that whoever you think I am, whoever that monster was who killed my
Mhm.
mom, who did this, who did that, that is Arthur. That's not
Yeah.
Joker. There is no
Mhm.
separation here, and I have to hold that accountability. I think that it resonated with me on a very personal level, and I can't say the same for the first film.
Yeah. No, and I feel that this movie definitely has a lot more to think about, for sure, which I think is important in film, for sure. And like, it's very much it's very much a movie that's like be careful who you pretend to be, like,
Yes.
because that's who you'll become. And like, because he was still taking his meds, I'll die on that hill. He was definitely still taking his meds. He realized that and was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the Joker. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I just want to have a happy life with a woman I love and stuff. And like, I did all this fucked up stuff and I am not happy that I did that.
Right.
Like, and like that kind of, he's like, none of that, like, it made him feel good for a little bit in the first one when he was doing these things and stuff.
Right.
But then cut to the beginning of this second one and he's in prison and he's rail thin, so he's not eating, he's not talking to anybody,
not making jokes anymore,
not making jokes, and they're all commenting on like, oh, you got a joke for us today? Like, he doesn't say a word and stuff, and hadn't, presumably for like 1, 2, like even 3 years, depending on how long the time is and stuff, like, and everything. And like, until he gets that spark, he finds that like real life old Hollywood musical, like that he could actually live and stuff. So that like, yeah, oh god, yeah. And then it goes back
even what he said in the singing in the interview, where he's like, I have someone who needs me. Like, I finally have something that I can live for outside of myself.
Yeah, because he wanted to. Yeah, the whole point was he wanted to die. Like, he wanted to kill himself on the show, not the host. Like, he didn't want to kill. He didn't want to kill him. He wanted to kill himself. Like, and stuff. And that was the whole point originally and stuff. And now he has a reason to live and stuff. So then you go to the scene when he finds Lee and he's like, all right, let's do this thing. And like, she's like, nah, I'm out. And she dips. And then all the cops come and he doesn't move. He's like, yeah, just take me back. Like, I don't even care. And he doesn't even look that, like, he looks shocked when he's getting stabbed in the hallway at the very end, but he doesn't look too upset about it.
Yeah, that's
like,
a great way to put it.
He's not screaming for help. He's not. And then that last shot when we like kind of come in on him, and he's like dying and stuff. Like, he has a pretty neutral look on his face. And like, I think part of it too is he's hearing the guy do a Joker style laugh and stuff. And he's like, and it's like a realization of like, oh, this is my own fault. like the Joker did kill me. Like, I did get killed by the Joker, which was the original plan and stuff. It just took this whole long extra way to get there, kind of a thing.
You said something very profound. It was like, like, be careful who you choose to be. And I think that this movie is really cool because it's like, you see Arthur choose to not be Joker, but people will always see him as Joker.
Exactly.
And I think that's really important for the world to see too. It's like, just because you choose to be a better person does not mean your actions don't live on past you.
Yeah, exactly. And like think about it in the context of Jackie. Like he's pretending to be a good guy by being a guard and stuff. But he's a horrible man. But like, people look at him and are like, that's a good man. He has to go and be stuck in there with all those crazy inmates every single day and stuff. That must be so hard for him. No, it's not. He's in there beating the shit out of them, doing awful shit to them,
making them kiss each other for cigarettes, like
doing all this like
playing games.
Yeah, playing games with them and stuff. Like, he can do whatever he wants and stuff. Like, no, like, and stuff. But everybody sees him as like that, like, and stuff. I'm
telling you, if this movie was more Jackie and Arthur, this shit would be fire. It would be so a lot great.
I think you're 100% correct on like, if it was 50-50, because like, what, 2 hours and 10 minutes, half of it is in the prison, the other half is the trial and like the fallout of all of that and stuff. And you can still have all these major beats that you want and stuff.
You still could have done all that.
It would have been a better movie. And then like the musical stuff notwithstanding, because it's like, again, like, if they had just been singing at each other and they'd been singing poorly and stuff, like, it would have been like, okay, I get it. Like that would have been, instead of doing all these theatrics and stuff. And it might have even hit harder. It might have been harder to watch and be like, oh, this is kind of cringy and stuff, but like that's kind of the point.
It's kind of the point. Yeah.
That would be the point at that point. Like
I will say too, when it comes to the musicals, I never like the only time it bothered me ever, it didn't this time, but the first time when he started singing in the interview, I got annoyed because I was like, bro, just stop singing.
Yeah.
Like when y'all are talking, that's when this movie is good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was annoyed by that too.
Yeah, but I don't. I'm not that bothered by the musical numbers. I will like again. We talked about the performances. I think for me, I've just given my own headcanon of like these are the characters doing this, not these actors and actresses.
Yeah, which I love.
But even then, like for me again, like the cinematography on some of those scenes, breathtaking.
It's
like
insane.
like how you brought up like when he's hearing the shit about his mom and you just see it zoom out or whatever, and you see the light shine over him, like, and he's with the mic, like that is such a great shot, and it's so it does a great job like symbolizing where he is right now, kind of like shrouded in this darkness, and the only light that he sees is where he escapes reality.
Yeah, exactly. And then like really the moment when he's in that first meeting with the psychiatrist and stuff, because they're trying to go for the whole multiple personalities kind of a thing, which is a whole different long discussion. That's kind of an eye roll and stuff. It's like, I mean, I guess it makes sense for like why they would try to get this.
I liked the fact that they were trying to do that on like how I said, I didn't like the question of like, oh, is it Arthur or is it Joker? I did like the whole animation in the beginning I don't like because I feel like it kind of throws you off as to what this movie's about. But I did like the idea of that, like they were just trying to do whatever, at least the lawyer was like, maybe this will work. Maybe if we just say multiple personalities.
She was doing her job the best she could.
Yeah,
you know,
no, for real.
And like in like the 1980s and stuff, it was like it was still not that I'm an expert and stuff, but like it was still like very reasonable that could be like a very legitimate thing that a lot of people could have and stuff. And it's like I think nowadays they're like there's maybe less than 5 like people that they're like 100% they probably did like and stuff, and they still don't know. Like it's a very rare thing. Like it's called DID, like dissociative like identity, like now and stuff. Like so like I minored in psychology. I am not an expert. I'm not trying to say anything.
I'm a psychology major, so we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, so so for me, like you just minored in it. I was like, all right, here we go. But like, regardless of all that, when his psychiatrist is asking him like questions, and he's just kind of like, oh yeah, like like just smoking a cigarette and stuff. Going back to like the cinematography and just like how they're visually telling the story and stuff. I loved when she's like, well, what if I talk to the Joker about, like, can I ask the Joker that same question? And it's a dark, cold room, and because it's raining outside, and then the sun comes in and just beams a warm light on him and stuff. And he kind of like gets an idea, or like is like, oh, interesting. And like, you know, at the time, you're like, oh, like it's triggering the Joker to come out. But it's like, you look back and it's like, no, he's having an idea of like, oh yeah, I could lean on that as a crutch. Like, and once you get to the end of the movie, and I'm like, that's so good. Like, that's fantastic.
There's so many moments where he's just like doing the stuff he was doing in the first movie, like the dancing around and the leaning over and all. Like a lot of that feels like I'm trying to recapture something. It doesn't feel as iconic as when he killed the 3 guys and is in the bathroom just dancing by himself. It never feels like if there was a separation in personality, it was in that first movie. Because in this second movie, all Arthur is trying to do is get something back, and he can't. He doesn't know how to recapture what that was in that moment. Because
exactly.
I think part of it is because he knows what the guilt feels like. He can't separate himself from the ramifications of those choices.
Exactly, because he's medicated. The meds are working; they're helping, and he's like trying to recapture that feeling, no matter how bad the decisions he made to get to that feeling, or like what the decisions he made to catch that feeling when he was unmedicated and stuff. He's medicated, so like he's like trying to do all of those things again, and it's not hitting, it's not working. Like
it's trying to capture that high again. He was high When he was Joker in that first movie, for days he was living on insane stimuli, like manic episode, like to the upteenth degree. And then in this movie, like I completely like the idea of him taking his meds the whole time, because it's almost like even though he's saying one thing, his body is doing another. He keeps on trying to fight against going back to where he was, even if he won't say that out loud. And I think with the character, I feel like I explained it really well for myself, at least. It's like he's trying to gain that high back that he can't. Like he can't get there anymore. And that's I don't know. Again, but also like even with like the DID thing, I like the idea of, again, Arthur is mentally ill to you and me and to most people. But I like the idea of him being like, oh, is that the mental illness that will justify my bad behavior? Okay, because a lot of people do that.
Yeah, like, a lot of people do that. Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to show in a movie, like a character trying to capitalize on mental illness. Like that's sadly, it's not just him, it's Lee too. But like I mean, shit, you could, in a weird way, you could argue Jackie too. Like the way these characters all are trying to capitalize on other people's problems.
100%. Yeah, because like the like in real life, the insanity defense, I think, has the only time I think it's ever worked was Ed Gein back in the day. I think he's the only one, the guy who inspired Texas Chainsaw and like all kinds of stuff. Like I think he's the only one where they were like, yeah, we'll put you in a mental institution instead of in prison and kill you and stuff. I think it's the only one that actually worked. But people have been trying it ever since and stuff. So like it makes sense for like in the 80s for somebody to do that and stuff, and for him to try to like kind of like capitalize on it in his own way, because he has that meeting right after he sees Lee for the first time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And she like goes out of her way to like do the gun to the head thing and stuff. It's like, and so like he's like, well, I'm interested in that, so like, yeah, whatever I can do, instead of just being like, yeah, whatever, I don't care and stuff. Yeah, that's it's very interesting. I think we're getting close to we're probably gonna need to wrap it up here in a second.
Yeah, I don't feel like we can make this conversation any more interesting.
I don't think there's much more. Yeah, at this point, and you know, this is one of those ones where because again, you're not even saying it's a good movie.
No, I'm not.
This is one of those ones where I think we're in a complete agreement and stuff, and I think we probably were before we even talked and stuff, but we were coming at it from two different sides, different angles and stuff, for the sake of having a discussion. This movie is absolutely worth watching. I think it's absolutely worth watching, regardless of the reviews and all the shit it got when it first came out and everything, because of everything we've talked about, and like specifically like a lot of things that you pointed out about this movie and stuff. Like I think a double feature of this would be tough. So maybe break it up over a day or two. But like I think watching this movie with the context of the first is very important. But like I really think this is again, I'm not going to say it's good, but I'm definitely not going to say it's bad. I think it's a very controversial right down the middle, like on this one, like
which is what the ratings showed. I think for me, again, this movie's not good. You never really hear me saying that, but I do think if you do the double feature and you've never seen these movies before, I'm speaking to the person. I'm speaking to a specific person. If you are doing a double feature and you really like the first one and the second one makes you angry, you need to ask yourself why. Yeah. You need to really think about it. It doesn't make you an awful person. It doesn't make you evil. You just need to think about that. Like, why is this character who killed 5 people, 6 people, why is his downfall and him taking accountability for his downfall, why would that hurt you? Why would that be less entertaining or less gratifying for a character that wasn't supposed to be likable in the first movie? That's just a thought to pose to the audience that hopefully whoever may do that my words can echo.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. If you don't like the movie because you didn't like the movie, because in terms of movies, that's
completely fine. Completely fine.
If you didn't like the whole point and the message and like the themes and everything that they were trying to do with this movie, you need to sit down with that and figure that out.
Think about that a little bit.
You need to figure that out. 100%.
And also, you can get this movie and not like it. I will say, like, you can also see everything that it's saying, understand the best parts of it, the worst parts of it, and just leave unsatisfied. And that's fair too. I'm not saying you have to think this movie is groundbreaking. It's just there was a way this movie was talked about that I think was a dog whistle for like a lot of people were showing their hand. And I think that it's not always, especially with art, I don't think it's always the case to look like even Obsession and like the way that people talked about Bear and him being the villain. And I don't think it's always the case to hear somebody's opinion on something and be like, oh, we see you. But I do think that when something like this happens, like when a movie like this happens, it's important to really like understand somebody's perspective on why they don't like it, because the why is super significant, like incredibly significant. The why is literally the whole point of this movie. It's answering those questions. Yeah. So.
No, 100% agree. Cause it's like, why did they make this movie? I think we've made that very clear at this point. And again, if you're upset about the themes and the point of this movie, that's different than being like, well, I just didn't think it was a very good movie. Okay, that's fine. That's totally
completely fine.
We're cool with that. It's the other stuff where we're like, maybe sit down and think a little bit about it.
Yeah. Talk to a friend.
Talk to a friend. Talk to multiple friends. Like, reach out, do what you got to do.
Yes.
All right, man. Well, with that being said, I think we're just this is going to be a amicable draw. Like we agree that's like it's not good or bad. It's got something to say. It's tough to watch, but it's important. So everyone out there, you should watch this movie 100%. That being said, do some housekeeping stuff real quick. And so as always, if you like this, follow on Bad Movie Debate on TikTok, on Instagram, Bad Movie Debate or Bad Movie Debate Pod. I forget which one's which, but you'll find it. It's not that hard to find. Got this out on YouTube and everything. Listen everywhere, all that good stuff. Share, like, subscribe, all that nonsense. Thank you so much, man, for coming on, reaching out to me and making time to do this. This is a really, really good discussion. I really liked this. This was awesome.
Yeah, of course. I again, from seeing just the title alone, I was like, that's an interesting concept. And then I think it was hearing your thoughts on Obsession that I was like, oh, he has like some pretty cool, interesting opinions. And so from that alone, I was excited for this conversation because I knew that this movie has something to speak about. But I didn't expect it to be, I feel like with these collabs I've been doing, I've been trying to temper my expectations and just go into it open-minded. But this is definitely a great conversation. Like I would love to be back on again or to have you on my channel or whatever. Like, I would love to have more conversations about film.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always like to get people back for sure and stuff, and I'm open to having more conversations, however that may be, because I think this was a very good, fun, but also like low key important conversation that we had about this movie.
And I hope your audience enjoyed hearing me talk, hearing us talk. I hope that they would like to see me again.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they will, man. This is a good one. This is a really good one. I enjoy it. Where can speaking of your channel, where can people find you?
Yeah, Jatavian, Jatayvin on TikTok and on YouTube. On TikTok, I do short form stuff where I normally will just talk about a movie that came out recently or a movie that I just saw recently. Like recently, I've been talking about Pusher, the Pusher trilogy. It's a Danish film trilogy by Nicholas Winding Refn, who made like Drive and made that new movie Her Private Hell. But Pusher, the first one, is his directorial debut. and it is a fascinating crime trilogy that it's shot handheld, so it almost feels like a
Oh, cool.
documentary. Like a lot of the actors you're not going to know if you're an American, like for myself at least. So like I'm watching this and it feels so real, and I'm really enjoying it. And so yeah, on TikTok I do like minute long just conversation or just quick discussions about like how I feel about a film I just watched, or even shows, maybe some superhero stuff here and there. And then on YouTube, what I really love doing is video essays. I love talking about film, and like I said in this, I look at film from a very personal place. It was my first love, and I think that when I do video essays, I really try to speak from a place of like taking you into my brain, how I'm seeing this film, and I love connecting with people through art. It's just something I love. So yeah, Chatavian on TikTok and YouTube. If you'd want to join the fam and watch some of those videos, I'd love to see you.
Hell yeah, man! And I'll have links to both of those in the description below, and everything, like your ats and everything, so people can find you super easy and all that stuff. Hell yeah, man! That's awesome. That sounds like some good stuff. I'm gonna check out those Pusher movies. Those sound incredible.
They're really
I haven't
good.
seen those. I feel like it sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not gonna. I know I haven't seen. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, I know that." No, I don't know that. Like, so I'm gonna check that out. That sounds amazing.
Maybe if you see some stills, they would look slightly familiar. Because for me, I was like, "Oh, maybe I've seen that before. Maybe I've seen it." But I just finished the second movie today, and that was like dope. Like I'm highly impressed by these films and what they do. I might try to do something more long form with it at some point, but I've been telling everybody who I talk to about film, like, hey, watch these movies. Like,
no, you gotta check this out.
Better than I thought they would be. So
hell yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check those out. Well, all right, man. I appreciate you again so much for reaching out, jumping on and stuff. And yeah, I'll get you back on at some point for sure. I always like to keep people, once I get them on, they're in the rotation. I like to get people coming back at some point. So
I'm excited for the next conversation.
Hell yeah, man. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, both of us, both of our channels and stuff. If you're here already, you probably already do, but go check out my man's here. And we'll see y'all next time.